Good morning. Craig Howard, happy to be with you again this morning. Excuse me. I read something this morning that literally just kind of blew my mind. Um, I was very surprised to find out how much time people spent watching live stream content and all of that. The article that I read said that in the last quarter of 2020, 7.46 billion hours of live stream content was watched just in the third quarter of 2020. Now, for some perspective, uh, there are 876,000 hours in a century. There's 876,000 hours in a century. So that means roughly 8,477 centuries of content, of hours of content were watched just in the third quarter of 2020. Most of that was watched on Twitch. If you don't know what Twitch is a gaming platform where gamers watch other gamers play games. So, and a lot of gamers make their living that way. You can get paid if you're good enough. You can get paid to broadcast your games on Twitch. My son Ryan has done this to some limited extent, but you can get paid to put your gaming on Twitch, and people will pay to watch you play games on Twitch. It's a new world. The thing is, 95% of the streaming that took place in that third quarter of 2020 came from Twitch. 64% of the content that was watched on Twitch, with the only two others that were even close. 5.5% was YouTube and 3.5% was Facebook, and they were the only ones that were even close in the mix. So that means a lot of people spent a lot of time watching a lot of other people play games over the internet. When I thought about that, I thought, wow, is this the best use of our time? Now, I'm not putting gamers down. This is not a criticism of gamers, but I'm thinking we just spent in the third quarter of 2020 8,000 centuries of hours, and most of that was used watching people play games or broadcasting the games that you're playing. I wonder what would happen to the world. I wonder where the world would be if that same amount of time was used to spend time in God's presence, to learn more about God, to study His Word, to glean an understanding of what God would want me to do in my life. The Bible says in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15 to 17, it says, "Be very careful then how you live, not as unwise, but as wise, making the most of every opportunity, because the days are evil. Therefore do not be foolish, but understand what the Lord's will is." Listen, all of us waste time. All of us spend time doing things that we really don't need to do. It's just part of who we are. Understand that. But all of us can take a look at our lives and say, am I using my time to the best advantage, not only of my day-to-day life and what I'm doing on this earth, but of my spiritual life? Am I using my time to the best advantage of my spiritual life? And, all of us have ways that we waste time, either in watching too much television, playing too many games, reading too many books, just goofing off, doing too many things. And I'm not saying that all of our time has to be spent in some sort of deep contemplation. I'm not saying we all need to go off to a monastery and sit around and contemplate our lives with God. But I am saying maybe we could just improve a little bit. Maybe instead of 8,000 centuries of time spent watching live streaming, maybe we could cut it down to 7,000. What do you think? Oh, well. Something for you to think about this morning. I hope you have a good day. A little snowy here still, and I've got to get going. I've got things I've got to do, places I've got to go. Thank you for those that have responded about helping with the coronavirus clinic. I can still use more, so if you're interested in helping with the coronavirus clinic, it's going to take place mainly on Thursdays. I've got the month of February filled, but I still need people for the month of March. I would like to get at least 8 teams. 8 teams. So that means that way nobody would have to do it more than like every other month until the job is done sometime this fall. So if you can help out, shoot me a message, call me on my phone, 304-668-1731, and I'll put you down, and we will move forward in getting our community vaccinated. There may be something similar happening in your community if you're not watching it here, and you might call the health department and ask if volunteers are needed for anything regarding the coronavirus vaccinations. Anyhow, thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of the day today. God bless you, and I'll see you tomorrow.